Angel Reese to the Atlanta Dream for first-round draft picks in 2027 and 2028. Mase, what does this do for the city?
I don't like it.
Okay.
Nah, let me stop.
Got it.
Welcome to the A. Angel Reese. I think it fits her brand better.
Mm-hmm.
I think Atlanta fits her brand with everything she wants to do, being outside, music, podcasts, fashion, everything she's trying to do. She could do in Atlanta. I'm gonna have to invite her. I'm gonna have to invite her to church or something. Who knows? But the Dream gotta win, though. Dream gotta win.
Listen, she averages 14 points, 12 and a half rebounds. One of the new faces for the WNBA. Very standout, very big personality. So to get traded for just draft picks, I think is more to the story. I think the requests started getting crazy. I need the parking spot. I need this many tickets. I need this on the Jumbotron when I come out. You know who I am. Fuck is you talking about? Like, I don't even know.
Change the music.
Yeah, just change the music. I think the request getting crazy. Because you get a player of that caliber, young, still young. You got 14.7 points, 12 and a half rebounds.
She balling.
Yeah, especially this her second year. And they get traded for draft picks, it's more to the story. Niggas say, y'all deal with it. And take it, matter of fact, take it to Atlanta. That's bad anyway. Y'all be used to all that. That's how I feel when I see this, when it's like for draft picks. Yeah, we'll be good.
Yeah, we're gonna wash our hands.
Yeah, we'll wash our hands. But shout out to Angel Reese and good luck in Atlanta.
Yeah, definitely a good look. And I know you're saying like the Dreams guys start winning. They do pretty well, and they definitely play better than the Sky did. So I think it's a great fit. I'm excited to see how it's going to go. Like maybe Mase will see you at an Atlanta Dream game potentially, because that would be really dope. Just putting it out there. Like, I think we should all go to WNBA games.
That's a horrible trade to think about. Like, now that Killer brought that up, that's horrible.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, it's not even some great picks. It's like, you can have it.
Yeah. That's what you want. That's what I'm trying to say.
We'll see what happens. Like I said, I still want to see you at a game. Maybe that's going to be the next bet. If we ever make a bet for something, I'm going to be like, I want you at the Atlanta Dream game. I think that'd be dope. But in the comments down below, y'all, let us know what you think about Angel Reese being on the Dream.
Killer was good, man.
Beth, what's up, man? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man.
What's going on? How's your weekend?
Really good, man. I was looking forward to coming back here, man.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, man.
What you running from?
What I'm running from? TMZ is.
That's what's up, man. Happy belated Easter, everybody. I hope y'all had a good Easter
happy
and everything.
Easter, man.
Right.
What, is Mo on today?
No, he's not.
Oh, man.
He's not. He will be this week.
Mo, I can't wait to see you tomorrow, man.
You have some words for him?
Yeah. I know Arabia is in the house.
Oh, man. And Michigan won. She Michigan. Oh, what? I didn't even go to her page. Her page is probably going crazy right now. I just thought about that.
She's definitely lit right now.
Yeah.
We were talking about it last week. I said, don't jinx it, because it happened to me. That's why I was like, I don't want to put that on him. I mean,
y'all jinx it. You and Mo be jinxing stuff.
Because both of them is crazy. Like, but it's okay. We'll see what he has to say. I think he needs to be able to speak to it, so I'll let him do that.
Yeah, we'll let him do that. We'll let him defend his honor tomorrow, Mo.
Yes.
Hey, Mo. It bees like this sometimes.
It bees like this sometimes. It do.
Now, welcome to Loserville with Stat.
Okay.
I can't let you guys.
I didn't say all that.
Always take it too far.
Right. Now I got to be Loserville. Because if I'm Loserville, all your other teams, what is they?
Hey,
Now we don't have an
Michigan.
answer. Oh,
I've been-
please.
Nigga, Zeke said you would say that.
been Michigan. Fab Five.
Zeke said,
Fab
watch
Five.
Mase
Cam
come
no.
in. Mase gonna come
Cam
in.
no black socks, ball head. Cam no. Ask Cam.
We was all Michigan then. We was on the same team.
All right. So then I don't know what stat. You wasn't even born when we was Michigan fans.
I also was never claiming Michigan.
I'm just okay. You know, Jordan Poole. This is all the legacy.
Okay. Well, shout out to Michigan and Mace's new team, I guess. He with the winners. That's what he said. And I'm in Loserville. Got it. But I don't want to call them Loserville because they're definitely not Loserville. They just got a lot going on right now. The Lakers. Definitely not Loserville, but it's some frustrating times. So Luka is out for the remainder of the season and his status is uncertain beyond that with a grade 2 left hamstring strain. He's actually in Spain to recover and using an injection in his injured hamstring, and hopefully he's hoping to expedite his return to the court. But then it's a double homicide because then we got Austin Reeves. He's been diagnosed with a grade 2 left oblique muscle and is also out for the season. So Mase, this was also one of your teams too now. Like we had this discussion. What happens to the Lakers now?
It's not my team.
It was definitely just
No,
last week.
I said when LeBron leaves, it will be my
Never
team.
said that.
Thank you. I'm like, please, somebody.
Cameron, I'm not gonna do
Mason.
it. I gotta call him Cameron when he does this. Listen.
We cannot pull that up nowhere. Pause. We cannot pull up where you nowhere where you say when LeBron leaves is going to be my team.
I said I've been a Laker fan, but when LeBron came, I stopped. So that means when he leaves, I'll be back.
I've never heard this. I've never heard.
And I did talk about the white boys being a great look for LA, right?
You said a lot of great things about the Lakers
Yes.
because that
and
was
I
one of
said
your
this
faves.
about JJ Redick, but now it looks like they're quitting on JJ Redick. It looks like they're trying to do something. This is just how it looks. This is how it looks. This is how it looks. I'm thinking when it comes to the Lakers, it's finished, right? You know they gotta let LeBron leave. They can't pay LeBron all that money, especially with Austin Reeves. And if he becomes a free agent, who are they gonna prioritize? And that's sad. But they gotta prioritize their future, right? So then LeBron leaves there. Then you got Luka coming back. Luka is injured, and this is the first year he's been like really, really in shape that I remember in a long time. So I think this is horrible for the Lakers. You gotta ask somebody who's a Laker fan though. Where's Bezo at?
He's here.
Yeah.
He's here.
Nobody appears in the room when their team.
Yeah,
It just happens.
that's the new MO, huh? Niggas don't want to come in the room when their team is down. It be like that sometimes.
Well, I'll say this, Mace, you always come in the room because every team you get is down and you just happen to switch teams.
Look at Bezo walk down about it. He moping around. Is that what they call it? Moping?
Literally moping.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm looking forward to this playoffs. You know, I really hope San Antonio beat OKC. That's what I'm looking forward to.
All right, Cam.
It's really bad when you think about this. You're losing close to 60 points when you think about Austin Reeves and you think about Luka both being injured. They're saying that Austin Reeves possibly could come back for the playoffs. And then I did see that report that you said Stat Luka's out for the rest of the season. But then I seen a report that possibly if the Lakers make it past the first round, that he may be able to come back for the playoffs, depending on how far the Lakers get. Look, I don't think the Lakers were going to go far with those players. I think the real denominator for the Lakers to be one of them contenders is Ayton. You think about this, you got two all-stars, not just two all-stars, two superstars. You got a great third option in Austin Reeves. And then you have somebody who's supposed to be, I don't want to sit there and say like the Joker or Joel Embiid, but I didn't think he was going to be Greg Oden either. Like, come on, bro. You step up.
Sam Bowie.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Giving a Sam Bowie vibe.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, even if you play to the potential, half the potential we thought that you could play with, even with LeBron, y'all should be all right, but that just isn't the case. It's really hard to watch LeBron go through this. I want to give LeBron credit because you got to think about this, right? He been going through this season after season with Anthony Davis. Now you get Luka and then you get Austin Reeves that's starting to come into light. And you're like, okay, cool, we may not win, but we could give a run for our money. And then these two guys go down. My thing is this. I can't talk about people's injury because I hurt my hamstring too. To the point where I never got the proper care for it, to where I still have a knot to this day in the back of my hamstring. This nigga HUD, God bless the dead, want to mop the floor in St. Mark's before we run a full. And I didn't even know the floor was mopped, and I do a split. And my hamstring is still messed up. Not that I can't play, it's just I just never did the proper treatment, and I have a knot. Hamstring injuries are tough. But I will say this, for all the niggas that I was talking to in the barbershop, even though it's not overseas, it's Spain, a lot of people in the hood tend to believe he got a jet from Spain to go back to Europe to check up on his wife. Like, fuck is you doing with this lawsuit shit? But this is getting out of hand at this point now. What you mean you fouling in California? And now they trying to run with it too. Let me go holler at this bitch. No disrespect to your wife, Luka. I'm just telling you how niggas was talking that I was around. It's mighty suspicious that when this child support case comes in, you got a hamstring and now you're not even in America. You got to leave America to see what's going on. And I think that was very smart of you to say Spain, so it don't look like that you didn't go home. But we don't know where you're at when you leave Spain. So I'm just telling you the conspiracy theorists that's going on in the urban hood of America, that is mad convenient that you out of here right when this child support thing happens. Now look, I'm on your side, Luka. I'm telling niggas he wouldn't do that in the playoffs. He could push this off for another 2-3 months. They like, Karen, when 100 million, 200 million on the line, you're not pushing nothing off, man. They already fucked up that max salary in Dallas. So now he counting on his money. I don't know, Luka. I'm half here, I'm half there. Do seem a little bit fishy, but I do know hamstring injuries are very serious. And I will say this, that even if he's seeking the best treatment, that means he wants to come back. He wants to come back because, you can just wrap it up for the season and everything else. We've seen this hinder Chris Paul's career. Year after year, playoff after playoff, his hamstring, always when it counts, hamstring injuries derail him from getting to the championship. He made it once, but when he's with Houston, the hamstring. Yeah, that hamstring is nothing to play with, man. So I wish you a speedy recovery. I don't know where the Lakers are going from here. I didn't expect them to go to the championship anyway with the roster presently constructed. But big shout out to LeBron, man, because I know this is so nerve-wracking and irritating for him to be 41 years old in the top shape and never have to go through the injuries that people are 10, 12, 13, 14 years younger than him go through. And he's there day in and day out for his team.
Definitely frustrating. And before we move on, I'm just curious, now that we know that Austin Reeves and Luka are not in the picture and we're hoping it's just for now, not long term, is there anybody else on the team who you feel like could hold it down, or you just feel like there is no shot?
Oh, I'm not giving them any shot. I think when it comes to the Lakers, this was a good playoffs for them to make a little run in and make some noise in to kind of set up the future. But I think when it came down to this injury, I'm not sure what injury is the worst. I don't know if it's the back injury, pause, or like Killer said, the hamstring, or is it the knee, or is it the ACL or MCL, or is it the Achilles? Right now, it seemed like he said it kept Chris Paul out. A lot of people was taken down by that same hamstring. So it's really interesting to see what they're able to do and how fast they're able to come back. I wish him a real speedy recovery because it seemed like that's something that could just be irritating for years to come. So it's something you definitely want to take care of.
Well, Hachimura?
Like, I don't, that's why I'm like, is there any sort of hope? We're always talking about hope.
Shout out to Hachimura, that's my nigga. So I'm just saying, but like, come on, it's playoff time, man. Listen, it's a critical.
You don't think Hachi could step up?
Do you?
You said he was your man. So
I know a lot. Dagger, my man. Dagger averaged 1.1 tonight. That's still my nigga. You gonna save the day when we was down? Get in the park. Shout out Dagger. I know he be watching shit. I ain't no slight there. You know I love you, but I'm just saying. I know you wasn't coming to save today. We needed you. Oh my! That's my brother. No, you can't save today. Listen, if you got Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and LeBron James, and we're not talking about them getting past the second round. No, nobody can come save the day. The person that can save the day is Ayton, DeAndre Ayton, and he's not going to do it. I really think to somebody like him, maybe, he need to go to that shit that where Wemby went with the monks, because Wemby came back mean.
yeah.
He came back with an attitude.
You send him with the monks.
Yeah, he might need to go. Because DeAndre Ayton, he could be a decent center. He could be good, but imagine he has some like to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a nice center. I'm not talking
He's
about
too
play.
polite.
Yeah, there you go. He's a polite guy.
Yeah.
Nah, get in there, nigga. Wemby came back from that monk shit, and he's an animal, nigga. Looking at niggas on the floor, going back, looking back at them like, look at this stupid nigga. He came. I love the attitude.
Speaking on things they're not asking them about.
Yeah, exactly. That's
interrupting interviews.
Yeah, telling niggas really talking about niggas without saying their name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They told Wemby one time, they say, yo, what was you doing there? He said, I wasn't talking to you.
Yeah. I like that. I like that attitude. Yeah.
Nobody asked you.
Yeah, then he throws shots at niggas like, if y'all play, how do y'all vote on MVP? Because it has to include defense. Basically, let's take Luke out the conversation. It has to be including field goal percent. Like, he basically, everything he named, it was I can't remember, I did a take on it last week or a couple weeks ago. Everybody he named, he took a shot at who was in the running for them and why they shouldn't win and he should win. Even with Shea, he said, we're talking about winning because we beat OKC 4 out of 5 times this year. So, I don't know, they the number 1 team, right? In other words, if Shea's that nigga, we beat them niggas. I like his attitude. DeAndre, maybe you should call Wemby.
Go see the monks.
Sit down with the monks, man. Them niggas put the battery in Wemby back and it's looking good.
We need to see something. Okay,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
Fort Worth, Texas.
I thought he was overseas. Yeah.
Okay.
They got monks in Texas?
That's crazy.
Have y'all met a monk
crazy.
before? Y'all met a monk?
I ain't meet no monk.
No, I haven't either. So I wouldn't know where they would be.
So get ready, because what initially looks like a simple transaction on paper may be hiding a much stranger story underneath, as Mase, Cam, and Stat Baby dig into one of the WNBA's most puzzling and unexpected roster decisions in recent memory. The headline itself sounds simple enough. The Chicago Sky reportedly sent Angel Reese, a 2-time All-Star, to the Atlanta Dream for future first-round selections in 2027 and 2028. Chicago did not receive another player in return. No proven veteran came through the door. No immediate piece was added to strengthen the current lineup. Instead, the Sky reportedly accepted draft assets that will not even turn into actual players for several years. That is the piece the hosts keep coming back to, and honestly, it is easy to understand why, because that single detail makes this trade feel far more confusing than a normal rebuilding move. Look at what Reese is currently delivering on the court. She is putting up 14.7 points and 12.5 rebounds per game during only her second professional season. Those numbers are anything but routine. A young post player controlling the glass at that level gives you an extremely rare statistical combination, and normally that screams franchise building block, not a player you move away for picks that are years from producing anything. When Mase brings those statistics into the conversation, he's doing more than simply listing numbers. He's laying the foundation for a much bigger question. His argument is basically that this is not the statistical profile of someone a franchise casually moves for distant draft picks. This is exactly the kind of player teams usually want to develop into the centerpiece of their future. Normally, organizations accumulate future picks when they are entering a rebuild, searching for younger talent, or have already decided that a current player no longer belongs in their long-term plans. But neither explanation fits perfectly here, because Reese is already the young talent, and there has been no obvious public indication that Chicago had decided she was no longer part of its future. It's also important to consider how unusual this type of trade would be for a player at Reese's stage of her career. In most professional sports, when a second-year player is already producing at an all-star level, teams generally try to extend them, build around them, market them as a franchise face, or, in rare cases, exchange them for another established star who addresses a specific weakness. Sending a player like that away strictly for future draft capital is far from normal, and when it does happen, there is often a deeper issue involving the player and the organization rather than the player's actual ability. That appears to be the angle the hosts are examining. What Mase is describing fits a familiar theory in sports media whenever a talented young player gets moved for a package that looks unexpectedly light. The suggestion is that problems away from the court, whether tied to personal brand demands, locker room relationships, or business disagreements between the athlete and the organization, could have influenced the decision more than the basketball numbers themselves. He is not claiming that any of this has been proven. He is simply raising the possibility that there may be important details happening privately that the public does not know about, and that distinction matters. His larger point is that the statistics by themselves do not seem to provide a complete explanation for why this trade happened. When a player's production appears dramatically higher than the value coming back in a deal, fans and media naturally start wondering what part of the story might be missing from the public version. But this is where it is important to pump the brakes, because the panel never actually declares one theory to be the definitive answer, and that restraint seems deliberate. Good sports commentary should separate reasonable analysis from pretending to know private information that has never been confirmed publicly. The goal is to explore the possibilities surrounding a strange transaction while giving the audience enough context to decide what they believe. Mase appears more focused on possible friction, while Cam immediately takes the conversation in another direction, emphasizing fit and opportunity. And realistically, those two ideas do not have to cancel each other out, because in actual front office situations, several factors can influence the same decision at once. A player can eventually feel that the organization around them is no longer capable of matching the level of career they want to build beyond basketball. That growing frustration can create tension, and eventually a franchise may decide that moving on is easier than trying to maintain a relationship where the player's ambitions have expanded beyond what the team's business structure can realistically accommodate. Chicago is undeniably a major basketball market, but every city has its own entertainment, media, and cultural ecosystem, and not every market is equally equipped to support the kind of crossover career Reese appears determined to create. Cam's argument changes the direction of the discussion by moving away from possible conflict and focusing instead on whether Atlanta could simply be a better fit. And honestly, that works more as an additional explanation than a direct rebuttal to Mase's theory. His point is straightforward. Atlanta could potentially align much better with the version of Angel Reese who is emerging as a celebrity. You also need a coaching staff that is actually willing to build around a young interior player instead of leaving her on the sidelines of the offensive plan. If Atlanta's roster construction and coaching philosophy are already heading in that direction, then this is not simply Reese moving to a city that suits her lifestyle. It becomes a real basketball opportunity for her to step into a bigger role while joining a team that is already showing signs of winning. And that is a completely different outcome from simply changing locations for personal or business reasons. That is why Cam's argument goes beyond saying Atlanta is merely a comfortable destination for her. He is making the case that Atlanta might actually give Reese the stronger competitive situation, not just the more appealing environment away from basketball. But now we have to circle back to the return Chicago received, because this is where the panel stops being diplomatic. 2 first-round selections in 2027 and 2028 are still years away from becoming actual players. Picks that distant carry an enormous amount of uncertainty. Their eventual value depends almost entirely on where those teams finish during those seasons and what their rosters look like when draft night arrives. A late first-rounder from a successful team can be worth far less than an early selection belonging to a struggling franchise, meaning there is absolutely no promise that either pick eventually produces someone capable of approaching Reese's current impact. Mase's sarcastic response, essentially telling the others that Chicago cannot have everything, along with his joke about the sky washing their hands of the situation, highlights exactly how risky this exchange could become. His point is that Chicago may have moved a proven, productive, highly marketable young star for 2 future assets whose eventual value is still completely unknown. And that kind of gamble can look brilliant or disastrous depending on what those draft classes eventually produce. If the Sky somehow receive premium selections in either of those years, then the trade could eventually be defended as a smart asset management decision. But if those picks land much later in the round, the criticism becomes far harder to escape, especially if Reese is thriving, winning, and becoming an even bigger star somewhere else. There is also a much deeper issue involving long-term asset valuation that needs to be understood here. A first-round pick does not have one fixed value. Its worth changes dramatically depending on where it lands. A selection attached to a rebuilding team that could finish near the bottom of the standings carries tremendous upside. That is because it could potentially turn into a top 3 pick in a strong draft class. But if Chicago improves substantially and becomes competitive over the next 2 seasons, those same Atlanta-connected selections could slide toward the end of the first round. And once that happens, the odds of finding another player with Reese's unusual combination of production, popularity, and star potential become much lower. So right now, the actual value of this trade from Chicago's side is impossible to know with any real confidence. The organization is essentially betting that future circumstances will break in its favor, which is a remarkably uncertain position to choose when the alternative was keeping a young, productive, popular star already under its control. The panel's jokes about everything becoming too complicated are really a shorthand way of acknowledging that transactions involving stars rarely happen because of basketball statistics alone. When a productive young player with major visibility suddenly gets moved, there is often something involving the business relationship, team structure, or long-term fit that has changed enough to outweigh the player's obvious value on the floor. It is also worth paying attention to how the panel frames this as a loss for Chicago, instead of simply celebrating it as an Atlanta victory. StatBaby's late comment, calling the return especially painful once the limited package is considered, reinforces the overall message that this looks like a potentially smart move for Atlanta and a much tougher one to justify from Chicago's perspective, regardless of what the actual motivation behind the trade eventually turns out to be. And that distinction is extremely important in understanding why the discussion has become so heated. This is not a debate over whether Reese can play or whether Atlanta made a terrible decision by acquiring her. The argument is that Chicago appears to have surrendered an established and ascending talent for future value that may or may not ever match what was given up. Atlanta, meanwhile, gets a proven rebounder and scorer who could immediately contribute while also bringing another massive boost to the team's visibility. Near the end of the segment, the hosts start joking about attending a dream game and turning the whole thing into a friendly wager or recurring inside joke. But by then, the conversation has shifted away from evaluating the transaction itself. Those jokes feel more like a sign that they genuinely want to see Reese succeed, completely separate from their criticism of the Chicago front office. The underlying message is obvious. Whatever actually happened behind closed doors in Chicago, the panel is clearly hoping Reese thrives in Atlanta. That distinction, criticizing an organization's decision while still supporting the athlete involved, is a common but important part of sports commentary, and that is exactly the balance the hosts are striking here. So when you step back and connect all the pieces, this segment was never really about proving whether Angel Reese is talented. Nobody seriously needs to make that case. Her production already speaks loudly enough. The real mystery is why a player performing at this level during only her second professional season was reportedly moved for future selections rather than an immediate basketball return. And even more importantly, what that decision might reveal about the relationship between an emerging superstar and the organization she was representing. The panel ultimately settles around several possible explanations. Maybe escalating demands created enough pressure that the front office decided a separation was necessary. Maybe Atlanta genuinely offers a stronger cultural, commercial, and competitive environment for the person Reese is becoming. And there is still the enormous question of whether Chicago's future draft assets will ever come close to replacing what it gave up. None of these explanations have been established as fact. They remain theories and informed speculation from people trying to interpret a transaction that, even after all the discussion, still looks difficult to fully explain from the outside. And that unresolved mystery, a rising young star being moved for future picks without an obvious equivalent return, is exactly what turned this transaction into such a massive talking point. It may also be why the conversation is nowhere near finished once Reese starts playing regularly in an Atlanta Dream uniform, because as Atlanta's record develops, her production continues to climb, and those future draft selections finally reveal where they land, the real verdict on this trade will slowly become impossible to hide.